Every time this man was sent into the pig pens, a woman would scrub his body with steel wool. First, years ago, he had killed the village's only breeding boar by accident. For that mistake, his punishment was brutal. He was forced to take the animal's place. From then on, his life became about breeding sows and raising piglets. If he ever refused, the villagers beat him without mercy. One night, a young boy in the village felt pity. At midnight, he slipped over and unlocked the chains. The man bolted into the forest, desperate for freedom, but the chief's daughter spotted him. She chased him through the woods. The boy picked up pliers ready to strike her down, but the man stopped him because in the distance, wolves were howling. Running further meant death. They returned to the village. The chief arrived with a shotgun and dragged the man back in chains. This time, instead of beating him, they gave him scraps of real food, corn jeans, and a longer chain so he could breathe fresh air. Slowly, he stopped resisting. He began caring for the piglets as if they were his own. Over time, he started to believe he belonged with the herd, until one day something impossible happened. One of the piglets spoke not a grunt, but human words. Terrified, the man ran and hid in the chief's big house. The next evening, the villagers threw a bonfire celebration. Because of his good behavior, they let him attend. But when a dog barked at him, instinct took over. He dropped flat on the ground like a broken animal. The dog turned on someone else from the shadows. The boy who had freed him before stepped out. At that moment, the man realized he was no longer a prisoner. He had become their pet. The boy gestured toward an old, rusted car. The man climbed inside. Hysteria crackled, music blared, and suddenly the chief's daughter appeared again. Villagers swarmed, chaining him up, beating him bloody. That night, he made a decision: escape or die. The next morning, a traveling hog dealer arrived. The talking piglet sneaked over carrying a pair of pliers. It freed him, and the two climbed into the dealer's truck. But on a dirt road, the truck overturned. Everyone scattered. The man sprinted into the forest, only to fall into a deep pit. The piglet, calling him father, threw down a rope and pulled him up, freeing his shackles too. That was when the man realized leaving them behind had been a mistake. By day, they searched for food. By night, he kept guard. But the chief never gave up. He tracked him with hunters and dog, finally cornering him in a cornfield. The chief raised his shotgun. The boy with him wrestled it away. The man could have fled, but instead he saw the chief bleeding on the ground, attacked by pigs. He rushed back, saving the very man who had enslaved him, even bandaging his wound. Shaken by this mercy, the chief shocked the entire village. He offered the man his daughter's hand in marriage. At last, the man was human again. The pigs he had lived with for 2 years finally understood the truth. It was over. He was never really one of them. He was a human, not an animal.